Good evening and welcome to... yes, stop. There's a difference between applauding and herding cattle. I just want to point that out. Hello and welcome to Don't Feed the Gondolas. It's been a week in which a British man in a life-threatening coma was played 6 hours of Daniel O'Donnell music in an attempt to revive him. Miraculously, the man woke up, though 17 other patients hanged themselves while the treatment was going on. Joining Dara O'Brien tonight, one of the glittering array of stars currently presenting shows on TV3. Yes, one day that sentence could actually be true. In the meantime, here's presenter of TV3's Pepsi Chart Show. It's the fabulous Sarah O'Flaherty. And with Brendan O'Connor tonight, one of the glittering array of stars who present RTE's Later On 2 Strand. You can fill in the rest of that sentence yourself. It's former Labour Party advisor and political pundit, Fergus Finlay. Lots of Fianna Fáil supporters in tonight, obviously.
You promised me Claire McKeown.
Next week.
You said short, fat and annoying. Sorry, I just... I got confused, sorry.
You should have had it bald, Brendan.
Props in the News is the name of our first round. Our teams get some props from which they identify some of the week's big news events. They also make pithy comments about those events using their skills as cunning linguists. Dara and Sarah, you cunning linguist you, what have you got?
We have a copy of Ideal Home, a magazine I don't get regularly myself, and a checkbook. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it could really only be one thing, to be honest, as far as I can tell. Sorry, do you have
I have a bit of an idea. I would think now with the Ideal Home magazine, the story that Monica Lewinsky is going to buy a house in Ireland, and with a checkbook, well, she'd open her mouth for anyone for $40,000.
I had a different answer. The Ideal Home, obviously, now, and the checkbook, it obviously refers to the tribunals that are on at the moment, because it emerged this week that Charlie Haughey had a monthly subscription to Ideal Home, and he had a monthly subscription to checkbooks as well. And every day he'd run to the post box and they'd open them and he'd go, magazine, checks, magic, let's go spend. Because I think it could be a lovely sitcom, called Ooh, You Can't Bank on Charlie. And then every week the friendly bank manager go, oh, and Charlie go, wah, wah, wah. Spent another 12 grand this week. Wah, wah, wah. But the whole thing of it, that's it. Like, no, that's it.
You do get your 2 points for that. Of course, this story refers to the story that the former Taoiseach Garret Fitzgerald had a £200,000 debt wiped out by Allied Irish Bank. After the story broke, Dr. Fitzgerald told reporters that he had been treated like any ordinary customer.
So what? They made him queue up for an hour and then treated him like shit. Okay, we have this and this. I think it's pretty obvious who it is anyway. Candle in the Wind, obviously Elton John. As to what this has got to do with arses and bandits, it's a framed arsehole.
Can I have a stab? I want to have a stab at this. You can have a stab at that. I think this is a souvenir which was brought back from the Isle of Man, and
full of money.
And when he was asked to take it off in customs, all this money fell out. And as Sean said earlier, he said, "Jesus, where the hell did all that come from?" This, I think, is quite clearly very attractive, but it's also.
No, it's an ass, not tits. You know that.
Oh, well, I'm in the Labour Party. I have difficulty making these distinctions.
No, that would be from your elbow.
Very clever. Thank you.
This is Exhibit 47 in the Flood Tribunal. It's going to be revealed over the next couple of weeks that instead of putting bullets through Mr. Gogarty's window, they actually sent fairly heavy-built navvies along to his house to demonstrate their builder's cleavage and frighten the life out of him. And this is the proof, I think.
So after all that, these scores are that Dara's team got 2 points and Brendan's team got no points. Time now for a new round using old stuff. Great events in Irish history, it's called. The teams view a piece of scratchy old tape and simply have to tell me what momentous moment in Irish history it is. Dara and Sarah, what piece of televisual history is this?
The trouble with you, old man, is that you're an elitist at heart. Oh, you may run a public sector institution, but you still believe in privilege. Profile, please. The caretaker tells me that your wife has joined the fur class. Why hasn't she joined the char ladies class? Look.
Ooh, scratchy old piece of tape it is, too. Long way back, Sean, yeah? Don't remember that one. What do you think, Tara?
I've never seen that before in my life. I presume it's an RT drama from like 1970, whatever, you know?
From last week,
All right, well, if it was only from last week, if it was from 1970, it's likely to turn up on TV3 sometime in the future anyway. Anna would say...
He's starting by.
You'd support her now, but you won't watch the shagging thing. Sarah, have you any ideas other than to say it's old?
Well, is he a painter or a teacher, whatever he is, in that little frilly overcoat? Maybe it's a turning point in history where men decided this was a big attraction, women's fashion. Something like that. Really haven't got a clue. Do you know where that came from at all?
The thing I worry about is that if she keeps talking like that, eventually she's going to open her mouth so wide that she's going to swallow up the whole studio. All of it.
And you know something? I bet you'd love me to too.
Can we steal this?
You could try.
Yes. That was a TV series called The Spike. It was one of RT's more notable drama successes. And David Kelly, I understand you don't actually want it revealed that when David Kelly did this nude scene in the movie that...
We don't want it revealed. Why?
Because you were the body double, as I
For David Kelly. Okay, well, I actually will. I will give Brendan's team 2 points because they did get it absolutely right. That dates from 1978. It is indeed a drama RTE made called The Spike. It is historic because it's the first time on Irish television that an Irish programme contained gratuitous shots of a nudie chick. The woman appeared as an art model, but because it was the 1970s, people in Ireland didn't actually know what a real naked woman looked like. So to help the audience, the producers came up with a very handy visual aid.
What did I tell you, old man? The specifications are rational. Credit where credit's due.
This is the medium woman.
The ideal woman. There's my selection. Do you sanction it?
Hire her. How long do you want it for?
6 weeks.
Come here, she was hardly the ideal woman, more like the ideal full Irish breakfast, really. 2 fried eggs and a bit of black pudding.
Right, so Fergus and Brendan, what great religious event is this?
The Lord will guard your going and coming. Bless those who use it. Let them not abuse, harm, or destroy your creation.
This is, of course, the new religion which revolves around bus queues, isn't it? That's the blessing of the buses there, and they developed a whole religion around it, and it was for people waiting for buses. Blessed are they who believe, though they have not seen. Hang on, no, I feel a few more coming here. Blessed are the able-bodied, for there should be room upstairs. Blessed are the old people, for they shall have free travel bestowed upon them. So,
you're missing the key to all this. The key to all this is the man in the background on the left. This is the Ballinspittle bomber story, isn't it? That man... When Albert Reynolds was Minister for Transport, and it is he, I can tell by the suit that this was the 70s and he was Minister for Transport at the time.
That kind of shaft look, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He made a kind of career. When a man hijacked an Aer Lingus jet so that the third secret of Fatima would be revealed,
yes,
Albert rescued everybody and said, that's all right now, you can all go home. And then...
Who's the guy who rescued everybody from the airplane? Albert!
Then when the Ballinspittle bomber took over a CIE bus in order to persuade Our Lady to stop moving in Ballinspittle, Albert was on the scene again.
Yeah. No.
I think the Albert connection is blessed are the peacemakers, sure, because they shall be there when the bus is heading off.
I think blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall never stop talking about their role forever and ever and ever. Amen.
Okay. Absolutely incorrect, I'm pleased to say. This is actually a real news report that doesn't date from the 1970s, dates from the 1980s. It is the launch in Limerick of CIE's new secret weapon, the single-decker Bombardier bus. Amidst great excitement, the bus was launched by the then Minister for Transport, Albert Reynolds, with the traditional bottle of champagne. As you can see, Albert is snipping the thing there, all very pleased with himself. And tumultuous applause there. Everybody's very excited. And there he is with the bottle of champagne. Now, here's the Lord Mayor of Limerick. Bit of blood on his forehead, you'll see, from the bottle. There it is. And after that, had a bit of an accident in his pants. Sorry about that. So Albert decided to make a quick getaway in the bus.
I can stop it all right.
Oh, yes, I can stop it all right. And this is what happened next.
The bus broke down for a second time on the way to a celebration lunch at a hotel near Bunratty.
So there you go, the bus broke down twice. Well done. So despite the fact that both teams got their questions wrong, the scores are that Dara's team got no points and Brendan's team got 2 points. When we return after the break, Fergus Feenley and Sarah O'Flaherty swap clothes. Back here in a couple of minutes.
You know what?
Welcome back. First, some quick international shouting news. Security sources in Dublin were placed on high alert this week following reports that the world's most wanted terrorist, Osama bin Laden, may have stayed in a house in Finglas for a few weeks. Gardaí believe he moved on after his Dole office became insistent he go on a FOSS course. Time now for State of the Nation, where we test how much in tune our contestants are with the average Northside Muslim on the street. This week we went to the Irish capital for scandals.
Yes, we're outside Dublin Castle, where in the Moriarty Tribunal this week it was claimed that 2 former Taoiseach, Gareth Fitzgerald and Charlie Haughey, screwed the AIB out of £600,000. Of course, a number of international celebrities also come to look at the tribunal, including Michael Jackson. Nice to meet you anyway. The decor in Dublin Castle reflects the growing trend among judges to dress up like women in their spare time. And just outside Dublin Castle, there's a cafe dedicated to Twink.
Okay, so there you go. Dara, you go first. The question we asked was, this week in the tribunal, it was claimed that Charles Haughey had links to Saddam Hussein. Is that fair, seeing Saddam isn't here to defend himself? We asked this man, as you can see, an unemployed court jester. Did he say, A, my pants are packed with love and I'm ready to blow? Or B, I don't know, I'm Welsh? Or C, I have to get to Dublin Castle immediately. I have important evidence which may yet save the tattered reputations of Ray Burke and Charles Haughey. Oh, look, Twink and Panto. Have I missed the matinee?
Returning to the question briefly from your man with the trousers, right, about Saddam Hussein coming in, and the whole Osama bin Laden thing. I mean, like, if they did call Saddam Hussein in, you'd probably never notice him going through the airport anyway, because there's so many people these days connected with the tribunal, passing through Dublin Airport with big bussy moustaches and dark glasses on, all going, oh, no, I am not part of the tribunal. No, I am going to the Isle of Man for a holiday. This money was from a truck or a lantern box. It is not my money at all. So anyway, I would say, I'd say B to that question there.
You'd say B to that question. I don't know, I'm Welsh. Let's have a look at the VT and find out.
Excuse me, could I ask you a quick question, please?
Yes, certainly.
It was alleged in the tribunal this week that Charles Haughey might have connections with Saddam Hussein. Do you think that's a fair thing to say, seeing Saddam isn't here to defend himself?
No, not really.
Why not?
Because that's a wind-up. I don't know, I'm Welsh.
There you go, he doesn't know he's Welsh. Sarah, you go next. The question we asked was, Brian Cowan says he's deeply committed to preventing illness. If he doesn't want to make people sick, then how come he keeps appearing on television? We asked this man, did he say, A, Brian Cowan, wow, that guy really pumps my nads. B, I can't stand the little bollocks myself. Or C, give me $10, I show you a good time.
I suppose I'd have to go with A, because Brian Cowan, well, I suppose he's always pumped my nads.
Has he really?
Yeah.
He's pumped your nads, has he? Right, yeah.
We've got some very bad news to tell you.
You're aware of the role that nads have biologically?
Do people ever say to you, say Brian Cowan, just so you'll go?
So you've never actually seen Brian Cowan, have you, Sarah? Come on, come clean.
Come on. Every now and again.
No, because every time she sees him, she goes, oh, it's Brian Cowan.
I knew this was going to happen.
Okay, you claim that Brian Cowan pumps that guy's nads. Let's have a look at the VT and find out.
This week, Minister for Health Brian Cowan said he's very interested in preventing illness. If he doesn't want to make people sick, why does he keep appearing on the television?
Good question. I can't stand the little bollocks myself.
Oh, you couldn't say that word.
You didn't say that it was the edge.
No, I didn't. That's because it wasn't. So, Fergus, your question is, this week a leading academic claimed that people in the Midlands are £44 a week better off than Dubliners. Isn't this money well spent to keep them where they are? We asked this man, did he say, A, I never felt more like singing the blues, B, don't talk to me about people from the Midlands, those bastards ruin my life, or C, I don't mind about that. What about the rugby? And aren't them chorus fair sexy? I tell you, I wouldn't mind giving that Andrea an up and under, you know.
I'm at the risk of setting myself up, I'm still trying to figure out what nads are from the last question, so I
Jesus, you've got really some bad news, come on then.
Having worked with Albert Reynolds in my time, I think it must be B.
You think it must be B? Don't talk to me about people from the Midlands, those bastards ruin my life.
That's it.
You've never seen this programme before, have you?
No, never.
He'd like another chance.
No, never again, I hope.
A.
Let's have a look at the VT and find
No, he
out.
wants to say A.
No, I don't.
He's quite definite about
more
it.
like singing the blues, 'cause I never thought that I'd ever lose your love, dear. You got me singing the blues. Oh, well, I never felt more like mine all night. Nothing ain't wrong and nothing ain't right. You got me singing the blues. When the moon and stars no longer shine, the fields are gone, that heart was mine. There's nothing left for me to do but cry over you.
So, Brendan, your question is this. This week, Mary McAleese said she felt a certain amount of resentment from Southerners because of her northern background. With an attitude like that, should she shag off back where she came from? We asked this man, did he say, A, Mary McAleese is a Protestant, B, Mary McAleese, Mary McAlarse more like, or C, I don't know about Mary McAleese, but them chords are fair sexy,
And of course, Mary McAleese is so right. You know, Mary, it's not because you have this ill-disguised disdain for the public. It's not because you've no charisma. It's not because you're an awful dresser. It's because you're from the north. You can imagine Mary coming in from her one public appearance in the last year and saying to her sidekick, Smithers, these people don't like me. Well, yes, sir, it's because you're from the north. So, given all that, I would say A.
You would say A, Mary McAleese is a Protestant. Let's have a look at the VT and find out.
This week, President Mary McAleese said that she feels a certain amount of resentment from Southerners because of her northern background. With an attitude like that, do you think she should shag off back where she came from?
Mary McAleese is Protestant here.
Protestant here. 2 points, well done. So,
Mary, you know, she's apparently as well, she's a woman.
No. Jesus, that's what it is. So, after all that religion, the scores are that Dara's team got 2 points and Brendan's team got 2 points. There's just enough time for me to say these words. There's just enough time for a final round. 60 seconds of facts. Each team gets a minute's worth of questions about the week's events. 1 point for the right answer, or 2 if they can elicit a giggle from our studio audience. Dara and Sarah, your 60 seconds of facts starts now. A recent survey showed that 1 in 10 Irish men under 30 are still what?
Not really sure what goes where with regards to the whole NADS thing, presumably. Yeah.
I'll vouch for that.
Yeah, close enough. Virgins is the actual answer. A new version of Shaft is to be made starring who?
Brian Cowan. Brian Cowan.
Samuel L. Jackson is the actual answer. Meatloaf's pet name for his wife is what?
Lassie.
Oven. Oven as in, I'm the meatloaf, you're the oven. Let's get cooking. Hey.
Dinner, I would have thought. Bob is the actual answer. Soaring car ownership now means that in Dublin there are more cars than what?
than there are houses in Charlie Haughey's name. I don't know.
Households is the actual answer. When the US ambassador to Ireland met David Trimble last week, he was wearing a what?
He was wearing a kind of a leather cowboy outfit and a hat and a whip.
He was wearing a cowboy hat, you got that right. 1 point. Joe Dolan last week said a rumour that he was getting married almost ruined his what?
His chances with a couple of honeys in that loan one night.
The right answer again is love life. Lots of distraught sheep there. Oh, that's the end of that round. Sorry about that. Brendan and Fergus, your 60 seconds of facts starts now. It was revealed last week that bankers plan to strip Charles Haughey of his what?
Brown panties.
Terry's chocolates.
His checkbooks is the actual answer. In a recent survey, 50% of women reckon bald men were what?
Hairy
Easier to
everywhere
clean.
else.
Turn on his actual answer. Singer Janet Jackson has split with her lover Renee over his incessant what?
Masturbation.
Womanizing his actual answer. Last week, Billy Hutchinson of the Progressive Unionist Party said he would die for his what?
Stash.
His right to party.
Britishness is his actual answer. Maura Connolly said that waiting for Gaybo to go was like waiting for what?
For Joe Duffy to come.
That is the actual answer. James Gogarty, the chief witness in the tribunal yesterday, compared it to what?
An episode of that Victor Mildrew thing, where the cranky old man gives out to everybody and they all
that
listen.
you can't think of the name of. The Gaiety Theatre is the actual answer. The Vatican is suggesting that graffiti can be what?
It can be very difficult to read.
Justified is the actual answer. The Chippendales said that when they last performed in Dublin, the women were what?
We're drunk.
Bending over backwards.
Out of control is the actual answer. So
To accommodate them.
Of course. So, after all that friendliness, the final scores are that Dara's team got 12 points, Brendan's team got 14 points. They're tonight's winners. Woo! So ends another thrilling 26 minutes excluding adverts, thanks to Brendan's new friend, Fergus Finlay. And Dara's new girlfriend, Sarah O'Flaherty.
Does he get to take her home now, yeah?
He does, yeah.
You can take me. What am I supposed to do with Beardy Boy?
As we go, one of the big international stories of the week concerned Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Stephen Heflin. Dr. Heflin has operated on some of the biggest names in Hollywood, but this week it was alleged that he charged some of them for procedures he never actually carried out. It was also claimed that while the stars were under anaesthetic, he would ridicule their genitals. So earlier on, I rang Dr. Heflin's office in Beverly Hills to give him a bit of moral support from a small village in the west of Ireland. Thanks for helping us feed the gondolas. Good night.
Hello?
Hi there.
Hello. I'm ringing you from Ireland. I wanted to leave a message of support, please, for Dr. Heflin.
Oh, okay.
My name is Monica Looley, and I'm ringing you from a little village in the west of Ireland called Ahascraw. And you see, we've been reading in the newspapers about the terrible things they've been saying about Dr. Heflin in the newspapers.
What are they saying?
Well, they're saying that he was operating on people and he was laughing at them and that kind of thing and ridiculing them. And
in the newspapers they're saying that?
In the newspapers here, yes, here in Ireland anyway. In that's what they're saying in the newspapers, yes.
That's interesting.
And there's I just wanted to ring up and say that we don't believe it. And we know that plastic surgeons, especially in Hollywood, because we love the films over here, you know, we love watching the Hollywood films. And we know that without the plastic surgeons, that the Hollywood stars wouldn't be half as nice. Sure, most of them were pig ugly in real life. Only if they need a bit of help. And they were saying that, in fact, we have a fella here in the village, he got his ears made enlarged with plastic surgery, and it changed his life because you know, he had all these caps he inherited from his grandfather and they wouldn't fit his head, you know. But then that's off the point. The thing is that the point that we wanted to make was that they were saying here that he laughed at Don Johnson's bollocks. That was the thing that they were saying, mostly. But sure, who wouldn't if they had the chance, you know? And we just wanted to say, give our support to him from Ahascraw.
How do you spell that?
Yeah, Ahascragh. It's a little village in the west of Ireland.
And Monica, what's your last name?
Looley. Loolly. He wouldn't know me now. Lly.
Okay. Well, oh, great. Thank you.
Okay, well, have a nice day now, as you say in America. Slán the wall, yeah.